Hey, what is up, you love people? It's coming to 2 minutes and 16 seconds. While it's Monday and you lot are here, if you are here, sit back, relax, enjoy. We're gonna get some tech news rolling in about 2 minutes and 5 seconds. In a minute, in a few minutes. Music's quieting down, boys. Guess what that means? Yes, we are now live. Thank you to people who are jumping in at the moment. Thank you very much for showing love and support. Yes, it is a Monday night, and I know I was meant to be doing a stream yesterday, but I had to do some busy stuff behind the scenes, so I had to quickly throw out a quick disclaimer and get it pushed back for tonight. But live stream's coming at you live, obviously, and we are now going to be pushing it over to my intermission scene. Are you ready? Are you ready? Pew, 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 pew. Wait, the music just went off at like a perfect time. Wait, am I here? Yes! Hello, you lovely people. Welcome to the channel of Gnome T. Thank you to people who are jumping in at the moment and who are watching. You lot are legends for doing so. As you've seen by the title, yes, we've got some interesting news from Apple themselves, or some rumors lurking around about the iPhone 13 series. You know, some interesting storage offers are going on at the moment, some interesting camera stabilization, image qualities coming into the mix. You know, Apple have got some crazy beers going on behind the scenes, but I can't wait to dive in. So how this is going to go, I'm going to let this intermission scene run for an extra, maybe like an extra minute and a half, 2 minutes, just to let people come into the chat, have fun, enjoy themselves, you know, grab a sandwich. I don't know why a sandwich, that's the first thing that came on my mind. But grab a drink, let you lot have fun, and then we'll jump into some news in a minute. You know, I've got my lights in the background, I've got a little cat here. Got some interesting names, you know. Post up a poll on YouTube, well, actually a questions thing on Instagram, not YouTube, that what you lot want to have this cat named. I had Gilbert, Roger, and Kiko, and I think, me personally, I think the best name that really came to my mind, or actually came in, yeah, that was answered, was, I would have to say, so I'm angling my camera a little bit, there you go, it looks better. I would have to say Kiko, you know, there is a cute name. I think it's nice, Chinese, Japanese theme, more Japanese name, but you know, I'll let that slide. For any of you new people who are wondering, yes, I'm half Chinese. Half Chinese doing tech, you know, Why not? Why the hell not? Like I said, I hope you lot are having fun. I hope you lot are having an awesome start to the week. Oh god, because I know for some people it is a little bit tough at the moment, especially in these times of quarantine. You know, I'm not gonna like do what any other person does and just says, yeah, don't worry, we'll be there for you, da da da. Look, I know, I understand, it's hard. I was there, you know, and I'm being serious. For anyone who is struggling, you know, don't be afraid to pop in chat. I'll be more than welcome to warm you into the community. But yeah, going back to what I was saying, I think we've got a new name for this cat, and I think the cat is going to be called Kiko. Gender wise, we don't have to give it a gender, do we? We don't have to. You know, I'm in shorts at the moment. What's that? Hold on. Turn them on for the cameras. Oh yeah, look at this cutie patootie. I gotta keep it still so then it can actually do its thing. The reason why I do have this cat is because every time I show this cat to you lot, it's like a window of good luck. So anyone who's in chat at the moment, good luck to all you lot. Good luck to people who are doing like exams, uni work, especially with myself as well. I understand 100 that people are struggling with like uni work and keeping up with online lectures and all that, but good luck to you lot. I'm gonna put this cat away before it gets too late. Leave him in the corner right there. Leave him in the corner right there. But guys, what is it now? We're coming up to 3 minutes and 40 seconds. I'm gonna get some new stuff ready and we're gonna be going straight into it. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces of news to show off today. We're not gonna make the stream too long because you know it's a Monday night, people got stuff to do, it's a work week, school week. I completely fully understand that, so we're gonna make this quick. We're gonna make this roughly about an hour or so, and you know, have people who come in here, give them warm welcomes, educate people, because this is what the channel's about, on that education thing. So yeah, anyway, what we got. So the first thing I want to pull up here is about Apple, obviously, and their iPhone 13 series. Especially in the title down below is a little bit of a teaser, but I won't tease you for too long, so let's change it over right now. Right, okay, so from WCCF Tech, we got ourselves the iPhone 13 models to offer 1 terabyte of storage variants, and LiDAR cameras, claims newest report. This actually came out about a few hours ago. Obviously it says 11:24 EDT time, but obviously in London GMT, I'm pretty sure I forgot that right, please forgive me. We do have some interesting news. This came out about 4 hours ago or 5 hours ago, and it talks about its Pro line of iPhones in with the less expensive variants by incorporating top of the line features and additions like premium materials, better displays, improved cameras and much more. But these guys, obviously, with the new rumors and the new reports, Apple kind of gonna complete different turnaround and focus on their cloud storage, and they actually want to offer a 1 terabyte of cloud storage to people who don't have a lot of storage on their phones. That kind of says kind of raises a red flag on the iPhone 13 here. You got the iPhone 13, iPhone 13 Pro, and the minis and all that. I don't know if they're going forward with the mini at the moment, but to extend onto what I'm saying, iPhone 13 and their Pro lines, I think it's coming to all 4 of their variants, and offering 1 terabyte of cloud storage can help to an extent. Like I said, it does raise a red flag for me. I think to me personally, I believe it kind of shows that the storage on the phones is not gonna be okay. It will do the job, but I think they really want to push forward that 1 terabyte of storage. Offer wise, I don't know how they're gonna do it. I don't know if they're gonna offer a subscription like what Google does with their extended storage on like Gmails and photos and all that. I don't know how Apple are going to go about it. I would assume they would take some sort of similar route to that and actually copy and do a subscription fee thing. It's a bunch of balls. I'm not going to swear. It is a bunch of fluffy fluffy squidgy. You know what? I don't know what I'm talking about anymore. But it's a bunch of bull honky. And me personally, doing marketing and understanding the whole world of technology, kind of sussing out what their model is and what the kind of idea is going about it. You know, the idea of actually tackling that 1 terabyte of storage and going that cloud route, it is a good way. It is a good way to kind of get into that and push that forward, as it is quite a powerful thing to take advantage of. You know, but I think with all of the Apple and iPhone having data leaks and stuff like that, I don't know if people really do want to actually go into giving their storage up and throwing out 1 terabyte storage, because you have got, like, in the past with data leaks, with Apple accidentally like getting their data like leaked all over the place. You know, offering 1 terabyte of cloud storage is kind of a bit of a fishy. It's a fishy red flag for me. But you know, I guess they are going in the right direction. In this little subheading from WCCF Tech, you know, all iPhone 13 cameras could also support sensor shift optical image stabilization. So, you know how you got yourself a gimbal, or you see those crazy like YouTubers who do B-roll and all that. They got like nice stabilization in terms of like showing off new features, new, you know, sceneries and etc, etc. So like having a sensor shift optical image stabilization can help towards that. Obviously, you're not going to get as good as the blimmin' the gimbals, but you know, we've seen this trend come up before, and I'm pretty sure the OnePlus or something to do with the Oppo phones, they kind of set the trend. You got like you got brands that are like trendsetters. We had the whole thing of the Oppo using their selfie camera as a raised camera from the phone itself. You know, it's a difficult one to tackle. Like, you see these trendsetters happen all the time, and then sorry, I'm going to turn down the music a little bit, and then you see like places like Apple, Samsung get on those trends, and then they kind of make it a big market trend, you know, a big like technology trend, because obviously no one really knows Oppo that well, and you know, when they see it on Apple, they get super excited. So it's kind of like, you know, it's interesting to say the least, and we have seen this before. It is pretty good. It is pretty nice to see that they are offering some sort of sensor shift optical image stabilization, but it will help more towards with you know, more clearer, stable quality in terms of getting that fresh B-roll if you are into that sort of thing. For the actual like normal audience, you know, for people who are just like wanting a phone just for the sake of it, I guess it would help with like running and trying to do a vlog, or trying to show off scenery while you're running or cycling or skateboarding. I guess that's what they're going for. I guess, like, as a marketing student, that's what I think they're catering towards, which makes perfect sense. For the people who are a little bit more outdoors and adventurous, or doing a little bit of a run, you know, that optical stabilization can help a teeny wincy diddy bit. Yes, Finn coming in with the beautiful emojis. I love that. I love that. I believe, like, this is my girlfriend. She is obviously bamboozled by what she's seeing right now. It's quite funny. We're complete different ends of the spectrum. I'm tech heavy and into outdoors and everything, and she loves cats and likes being indoors and like the whole crime and criminology and stuff. So give her a warm welcome. You know, I obviously got to say hey because she's my girlfriend, so it makes sense. It makes sense. I'm not gonna get soppy. We're gonna carry on and stay strong, okay, guys? Anyway, you know, these are this news literally came out about 4 hours ago, so it is good to kind of get this hot topic on and show you guys what is going on in the tech industry and the iPhone and the Apple world. You know, it won't be long until like Samsung and their new range of phones will hop on this trend as well, because we have seen optical stabilization in like the Samsung S20 Ultra and all that, but it will become more of a normalized trend in the upcoming Samsung ranges. You know, it's obvious what's going to happen, and you know, we've seen these trends being set before. Like I said previously, for anyone who's new and has come in, I've mentioned that these trends have been set before by Oppo and all other different like companies, like I think they're like Indian companies, Chinese companies, a bit smaller. I would call them trendsetters. And then Apple and Samsung are the big bulky guys come in and be like, hey, yo, that's mine. Like, get the F out of here, kick him to the curb. And not kick him to the curb, that's jokes, but like, steal their ideas. Actually, no, it is kind of kicking them to the curb, isn't it? Steals their ideas, takes it for themselves, and then hypes it up and makes it a big thing. Pretty obvious. I think we can all understand and get on that. It makes sense. Obviously, further information, however, Barclays analyst Andrew Gardiner commented that only the iPhone 13 Pro and the iPhone 13 Pro Max will feature this optical sensor shift optical image stabilization, which is known as LiDAR scanners. Oh no, actually, I might be talking about the wrong thing. Tech episode claims that for the moment versions of the good. No, yeah, LiDAR scanners and some optical stabilization as well. Going back to the previous paragraph, talks about it is included in the less expensive version, the iPhone 13 mini, and the iPhone 13, which is nice to see. It's to see that you know, the budget friendly options do get some I would say they're what do you call them? I would say they're flagship features, but we've seen them in cheaper phones, so I wouldn't call it a flagship feature. Nothing that really stands itself out from the crowd, but it does go a long way in terms of who the audience is, you know. However, Front Page Tech episode claims that the aforementioned versions will be upgradable to the 1 terabyte storage. Not the iPhone 13 or the iPhone 13 mini, since they are plenty of conflicting reports. We advise our readers to treat this information with a pinch of salt, at least for now. So, you know, it's horrible to see that. No, it's good to see that they are going the right direction. Yes, they want us to take it with a pinch of salt. Obviously, are they going the right way? You know, with previous data leaks, I'm not too sure, but I'm all for it. You know, I'm all for it. I'm all for it. You know. I do have an iPhone myself. I have explored a little bit. I do have an iPhone 6s, but you know, I'm an Android dude. I've only used iPhone for TikTok, and that's all I use it for. But I've got like my Samsung Galaxy A70 with a beautiful black case, and you know, it's minimalistic, something very small, something very jazzy, patazzy, nothing you know, it gets the job done. And I don't need an iPhone to jump on trends and do with that hype crap, but only like even though I am a tech enthusiast, I'll just, you know, I stick to Android. You know, there's loads of variants, loads of good reviews I can get done, so that's all I'm sticking with. I believe, you know, going through that, one of the features said to arrive, what is said that is not to arrive. Wait, one feature that is not said to arrive for iPhone 13 mini and the iPhone 13 is a faster 120Hz LTPO, which I'm not a big fan of. Not too knowledge on LTPO. I know OLED screens, which are reserved for the more premium models. That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. You know, they want to try and shave off as much flagship features as they want, and they want to reserve it for the big boys, you know, so you pay that big bucks, that big dollar bill, yo, so their profit margins get nice and high. That's it. That's literally it. If any of you are understanding or want to understand that kind of like the business side of like selling things and doing certain tech things and putting it at certain prices, is because they want to keep their profit margins. They don't want to go any low or any high, because that's the world is. That's the way the world is. I believe we've covered iPhone. We've covered iPhone a bit. Now we're gonna move on to, what should we move on to? We're gonna move on to AMD's power color. I'm gonna get rid of my previous tab and then move this up here. So, guys, I can't go without a stream, a PC tech stream, without talking about PCs and tech. You know what I mean? Power color confirms AMD Radeon RX 6700, not XT by the way, the 6700 graphics card with 6GB of GDDR6 memory, fighter custom design pictured. I don't know why it took these guys quite a long time to put 6 gigabytes of GDDR6 memory. It's a bit of an interesting one, but they have provided some features, provided some pictures, and provided some leaks as well. As I'm reading off here, it looks like PowerColor has leaked out some AMD's upcoming Radeon RX 6700 graphics card based on the RDNA 2 architecture, which is the obviously with the 5000 series that had the RDNA 1 architecture, which kind of brought in ray tracing. It wasn't really that great. It wasn't really that tweaked and polished, my personal experience. But RDNA 2, they have got ray tracing down, not to a T, but they have got it down on lock. Not as good as Nvidia, we all know that, but RDNA 2 architecture is a decent architecture that AMD Radeon have provided on their GPUs or their graphic cards, and it's nice to see that they are putting 6 gigabytes of GDDR6 on the 6700 series. It's weird. But following the next sentence, the AMD Radeon RX 6700 will feature a cut down variant of the Navi 22 GPU featured on the Radeon RX 6700 XT, and like it says here, and also reduced memory capacity as confirmed by the packaging of its particular custom variant leaked out by Tech PowerUp. It's a bit of a sad thing to see, but I don't know what's going on their news. I don't know what's going on behind the scenes with PowerColor, but you know, there are different companies out there that do provide some decent, like, top quality performance as well. Moving on, it literally says AMD Radeon 6700 graphics card confirmed to feature 6GB GDDR6 memory, also aimed at 1440p gaming. You know, this is the non-XT version, so it's a bit you know, I get it, target at 1440p gaming, but what we're going to see at 1440p, I don't know if we're going to see 60 plus FPS. Maybe not. I'm not too sure. It's quite a hard target to hit. 1080p is still a popular resolution when it comes to gaming as well. Let's not forget that. If we go on to like the Steam's analytics of data, it clearly sees that 1080p is still a popular resolution, and Gigabyte GTX 1060s and 1660s and all that, and 1050 Ti's are popular cards that have been used, and it's just people just want to get into gaming and just kind of focus on like 1080p 60 plus, you know. I'm obviously hooked into it. I love it. I always want to see what's happening next. It's nice to see that. Anyway, I don't want to get too sidetracked. We did know that AMD was working on the non-RXT Radeon 6700 graphics cards, but we also got to see the 12GB and the 6GB variants of the card. Particular variant from PowerColor, Radeon's RX 6700 Fighter series. That's what they're obviously calling this GPU. And if we scroll a little bit down, this is what it's going to look like when you go and purchase this. Purchase this yourself. It's a crappy image. I don't like it. It looks very cheap. It looks very tacky. I hate it. I hate it. Like, hate is such a strong word, but this looks so budget. It kind of like, it's an eyesore. Yeah, fighter. Oh no, the Earth has nothing to do with the word fighter at all, and space and whatnot. That's not interesting to me. You know, it wouldn't. Me personally, I would not see that box and think, as a good, you know, I would buy it. As it's just a little like design flaw and a little marketing tweak for me, from me personally. We did know that AMD was working on a. Yep, we just talked about that. This particular variant from PowerColor Radeon RX 6700 Fighter comes with 6GB of GDDR6 memory, but it doesn't rule out the possibility of the 12GB variants. So the graphics card could end up featuring both the 12 and the 6GB GDDR6 flavors, or the variants, but we currently only have confirmation, or WCCF Tech only have confirmation, that the 6GB variant exists. And if they are like thinking that they is going to feature both 12 and 6GB, but they only see 6, then we know that 12GB is probably going to come around in about the third quarter. Maybe not even that, probably a little bit earlier than that. of the year, so it's good to see that they are pushing it out. A bit of a horrible time to do it. I guess it's a good announcement. They're probably doing an announcement and expecting to release it a lot later, probably towards the summer and maybe partway towards the end of this year. You know, pandemic, chip shortages, and crazy amount of graphics cards are being bought out, and you know, the raise of supply and demand is constantly going up and up and up, and we don't know what's going to happen with the pandemic at the moment. The virus is very unpredictable. We thought it was going down and down and down in the UK, and it still is, but Europe has now confirmed its third wave of COVID, and the Prime Minister has reassured us that it is definitely going to come and hit the UK at some point. But hopefully in that time, with all the vaccines, it shouldn't affect us too much. I don't know, it just seems like the more well-developed countries and places in Europe is just getting hit harder. It's crazy to see that. And you know, places from overseas like New Zealand, Australia, are dealing it really well, but you know, we don't know what's going to happen. And at the moment, people are still indoors. Supply and demand for laptops, for desktop PCs, chip shortages are getting smaller and smaller and smaller, and it's not helping whatsoever. And even from like buying cars is an issue. I'm pretty sure like Ford manufacturers are like struggling in trying to put chips into their cars to run their electrics and stuff, and their GPS features and all that. It is a scary thing to see. It is super scary. But it is unpredictable, as the government say it. Are you ready? Unprecedented times. I hate that word with a passion because it's been said so much, but it is true. It is unpredictable. It is something that we did not expect, and you know, I think they always say third time's a charm, third time lucky. So hopefully by the time the third wave does hit us at full speed, we are going to be prepared for it with our vaccines being rolled out. I don't know. I'm not the government, okay? I'm not NHS professional. Baba ding dong, you know, like vaccinations and all that bullcrap. That's not my forte. My forte is PCs and tech, technology, and blimmin' rugby and sport and skateboarding at the moment. For me, so you know what I mean? Like, it's just, that's my thing, okay? That's my thing. Anyway, enough with the blabbering on. It's coming up to 8:30, and what we're seeing at the moment is, oh come on, go away. AMD Radeon RX 6700 is expected to use a cut down variant of the Navi 22 GPU with a total of 2304 CUDA cores and 36 computer units. It's bound to happen. I don't blame it for doing it. I don't blame the company for doing that. It is a little bit sad, but obviously it's trying to go for a 1440p market, but they're cutting down their Navi 22 GPU. It's a bit confusing. It's a bit of a sticky situation. Maybe because of chip shortages, maybe because there's something in the work, like a spanner thrown in the works, that's kind of affected it. It really confuses me, and it's just confusing me reading it. So, but obviously it will feature 6 GB of GDDR6 memory across a 192-bit bus interface, and is expected to retain its 96 megabytes of infinity cache. Obviously that's one of AMD's biggest pushes on their GPUs and their Navi 2 architecture, no, RDNA 2 architecture, and their Navi 22 GPUs, is that they got their infinity cache, and it helps with performance in some AAA titles and some modern titles as well. And it does show that it does work, but it's always below Nvidia at the moment. Probably won't be long until AMD kind of overtake Nvidia and maybe a GPU or something. We've seen it happen in their CPUs, and the margin and the gap is getting ever so closer and tighter when it comes to AMD releasing new GPUs. So eventually we'll probably end up seeing AMD overtake them, not by a big like big gap or a big fracture, probably something very small. We even see it in some like AAA titles and some titles that they do perform a lot better in certain titles than Nvidia cards, maybe because those titles are probably favored for AMD's GPUs and it does work well with their games. We don't know that full, but yeah, the packaging shows that AMD is still aiming their cards at 1440p gaming. However, the company in its own slides for the RX 6700 XT shows that anything below 8GB of GDDR6 memory is not recommended for gaming at a resolution of 1440p. So we aren't sure if AMD will apply the same thing in here. We are not sure how AMD are going to take this information and take like their thoughts and put it into full gear, because it is true. We do see 6GB of GDDR6 memory or 6GB of memory when it comes to certain titles. It can be a painful task to try and run high resolutions. 1440p, yeah, you can get away with it. It is hard hitting because it probably will use a lot of its memory, but if you're especially trying to run 2K and 4K, yeah, you can kiss your wishes goodbye, because that ain't gonna happen. You need something that is like 8GB of GDDR6 at least, and something higher like we see in their previous models. They do provide 12GB, and we are not seeing the 12GB variant at the moment on the 6700, but on the XTs you do see that. And it does go a long way. But anyway, this is a quick diagram. Today's games use more memory. It does show you the VRAM consumption at 1440p. Obviously, this is the way it's moving forward. What companies are trying to do, AMD and Nvidia and other like little sub companies are just trying to push 1440p gaming, trying to rinse out 1080p. 1080p gaming has been around for a very long time, but it does make sense to move on with the times and try and push for 1440p. Don't get me wrong, 1080p is very fun, it's very manageable. That's what I'm used to, and especially going from 720 to 1080 is a massive difference. Going from 1080 to 1440p, however, is a big difference. Personally, I wouldn't say it's much of a major difference from 720 to 1080, but 1080 to 1440 obviously is crystal clear, looks very sexy. But yeah, I like how they're going with that. Makes sense to push on with the times, because that's the only way you're going to get ahead of the game, and that's the only way you're going to win. Yeah, it's interesting. Dirt 5, obviously their rally game in 1440p does hit above 8GB of GDDR6 memory, or any sort of memory in fact. It's interesting, close to the 10GB mark, which is very scary. Cold War is very close and probably around 11 gigs, and Horizon Zero Dawn is obviously over the 10 gig mark, and Red Dead Redemption is nearly at that 10 gig mark anyway. So it's a weird thing that AMD is targeting 1440p gaming, but is only providing a 6GB variant at this moment in time and as we're speaking. So it is it's a very confusing mess, you know. Chip shortages are in the works at the moment. That's a major spanner. Loads of paper launches are going. That's another spanner in the works. Cryptocurrency is through the roof at the moment. It is dying off, and I bet it will die off, and people will just start selling their GPUs. So that's what I'm expecting. I'm expecting that. That is literally what I'm expecting, and I'm gonna have so much fun with it. But I won't go on to too much. Power Color 6700 Fire is a custom design that features a reference AMD PCB. Obviously, we're not going to be talking about it too much. Dual slot and dual fan coolers. Yep, shroud comes in a matte black finish, and two fans blow air towards a large central aluminium find heatsink. Nothing major, nothing special going on there. You know, obviously this is what the pictures are showing us at the moment. Nothing exciting, nothing too sporadic and gets you all like hyped. Very chilled out card, to be honest. I'm doing a stream. I'm doing it. Clearly. Oh, you going to bed? I didn't know that. No, no. No, no. No, no, you go. High five. Oh yeah, I need to provide some cool lighting in the background, but I'll give it back to you in a minute, yeah? I'm done. I'll be done soon. Alright. And yeah, boy. Sorry guys, that's my little sister. Just jumping in on stream. Why not? Obviously you don't get to see her face, I don't want to show her face on camera. Because of many reasons. Obviously, you guys probably do want to see her, but for me personally, showing her face on camera is not. It makes no sense. I don't, child protection. But yeah, anyway, going back, we are seeing the features and pictures of the card. Doesn't look too fancy, doesn't look too interesting, but you get it. It's a 6700, 6GB. Obviously not showing the 12GB variant at the moment. We don't know what the hell that is. It's disappeared in the work somewhere. But yeah. Anyway, talking about graphics cards and computers, we now come on to the next few bits, and I'm only going to rush through these ever so shortly, ever so quickly, and that is our CPU benchmarks and hierarchy of 2021. So we're talking about Intel and AMD processors that have now been ranked. This was yesterday, and what these guys done over in Tom's Hardware, they have run many benchmarks on the older and the newer Intel AMD CPUs, and they've ranked them from their own experiences. So take this with a pinch of salt. Don't get too crazy with it. Your opinion is totally totally different to what these guys think. It's the same with me. But I do agree with a lot of what Tom Hardware does provide. And let's go through what these guys did. So their CPU benchmarks performance hierarchy ranks all of the current and previous generation Intel and AMD processors, including all the best CPUs for gaming, which is quite an interesting title to use, based on the performance. Your CPU has a huge effect on overall performance, and to many is a computer's most important component. Okay, we don't really need to know about this. For people who are a tech heavy or even understand PCs themselves, we all know CPUs are quite important. So CPU benchmarks, yep, suss out differences. To buy a CPU for your desktop, you find a dizzying collection of model numbers and specs from both Intel and AMD. So basically what they're saying is benchmarks do help the community understand on what CPU to go with. And it is true. If you are looking at a CPU, maybe a Ryzen 5 2600X or a Ryzen 5 3600 or an Intel 10400F or 10900K, there's so many benchmarks that many YouTubers compare them to. I even did a comparison of the Ryzen 5 2600 with the Ryzen 5 3600 with a 970 Ti. So it does show differences on what kind of CPUs you do use in gaming. But yeah, these guys is quite simple. I think we all know as a community that CPU benchmarks just help with us to widen our knowledge on certain things. Nothing too interesting. Let's hear the best CPUs for gaming, best processor for workstations in other articles. But if you do want to know how each chip stacks up against all others, and then these guys have just basically done the hard work for us, which is quite nice. It is quite sweet. So they've just tested all the older generation CPUs from Intel and AMD, and even the latest ones from AMD and Intel as well. So that's like the 5900X, the 5950s, and the 10900Ks and all that. My keyboard just turned off. Anyway, new Ryzen 5000 processors represent a watershed moment for AMD. So these guys are just breaking down what's going on at the moment. So these guys say the company has swept the CPU's benchmarks hierarchy and taken the lead in every metric, including the gaming, single thread and multi-thread performances. You can see that Ryzen 5600X and the Ryzen 9 5950X, 5900X and the Ryzen 7 5800X is in their rankings, and it is taking many titles away from Intel. Along with all the previous Gen Zen 3, Zen Plus, and Zen 1 versions of those chips. So that's like the Ryzen 3000 series, the Ryzen 2000 series, and the Ryan? Did I just say Ryan so many times? Ryzen 1000 series chips. So as just from what I've got, so you got like the Ryzen 5 1600, Ryzen 5 2600, Ryzen 5 3600, and Ryzen 5 5600. You know, just get a perspective of what these guys are doing. So what is breaking down is that Intel is firing them back through with its upcoming 11th generation Rocket Lake S CPUs, and we have seen some dirty leaks. If you do want to see some leaks and more information, you have got Linus Tech Tips, you have got Jay's 2 cents and Bitwit that talk about it. So yeah, it's if you do want to see more, go and watch those guys. It's quite helpful, don't get me wrong. What it says here, it does take will take the gaming performance crown. We have the Comet Lake lined up in their charts, and we also recently added the 9th gen and the 8th gen Intel processors as well. As for recommendations and, you know, stacking them against each other in comparisons, that's the word, comparisons. We split up into single and multi-thread performance measurements and performances in the gaming tables down below. Most powerful chip gets a 100, and all the others scored are relative to it. So what I'm doing, I'm just explaining it to you guys what's going on, and obviously these are all their recommendations and their thoughts and opinions, and obviously us as a community, we can take these and break it down further ourselves. Specific measurements for those chips as our CPU benchmarks testing continues. Take a bit of a breather as the song's coming to an end. So let's go through. So the hierarchy charts, just showing more price to performance, really. Scores 182, and it is $550, which is around £500. But I think even Ryzen 9 Ryzen 9 5950X, I believe, is even like ridiculous money. Yeah, 5800X is £419. You know, it's a ridiculous like CPU. It's actually jokes that these guys are trying to display that it goes for $500 at MSRP. You know, obviously with all of the chip shortages, this is how the pricing has come about now. But MSRP $500, which is like, well, 550, which is like £500. But anyway, going back to the news, we know that the first 5 who have taken the crown has all been freaking AMD, and it's scary to see that. This is more showing their price to performance value CPUs. $490 for the Core i9 10900K. Scores 174. But anyway, talking about this is not really showing too much. It's just showing different scores, and probably explained it in the paragraphs before. Anyway, reading this little paragraph here. All the Intel and AMD processors and tables below, but we do not include overclock performances. So please take that in mind. All these are just raw gaming performance, no overclocking included, because we know Intel, they love their frequencies. They love pushing their frequencies to like 5 gigahertz and all that nonsense, 5.2, and especially with their 11th gen as well. It's gonna show, I believe, their 11900K, 11, yeah, something like that, is probably performing quite high at the moment. I think it's meant to be 5.2 gigahertz. It's stupid. Yeah, I don't get it. Like, no, I do get it, but like, it's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous, because performance frequencies do go away to a certain extent, and me personally, it's just, you know, it's nice to see that, don't get me wrong, but on AMD's side, I'm an AMD fanboy, but you see cores and threads do go a long way, plus their Zen 2 architecture, their Zen 3 architecture, and all that crap, they got it on lock. And I'm pretty sure they struck a deal with Samsung in their chips that is usually used in Intel, and also their Nvidia cards as well. You get to see that it does come in blimmin' handy. So obviously at the top of the charts, Ryzen 9 5900X, 100% gaming on 1080p, 100% gaming on 1440p. Using that what? Using that late Zen 3 architecture, 12 cores, 24 threads, 3.7 gigahertz with a boost of 4.8 and a TDP of 105 watts. It's nice. It's very nice. That's also another thing that really kind of makes AMD a step of the game above Intel slightly, is their TDP from their CPUs. You know, 10900K, 10 cores, 20 threads, Comet Lake 94.48 in 1440p, 1080p, getting that 88.97. We only see that it takes 125 watts. Base boost 3.7 to 5.3. You know, this is fucking sorry, didn't mean to swear on stream. This is a ridiculous frequency to see. You know, these guys are crazy. These guys love their frequencies, and 5.3, you know, scary beers. Another thing that really strikes me as well is that we see that the top 4 CPUs is all from AMD Ryzen, and all from their 5600 series, 5800 series, and 5900 series. It's scary. Ryzen 9, Ryzen 7, Ryzen 5. You know, this guy's got something on lock. You know, Sue is absolutely bombing it and absolutely pooping down on Intel. And I believe, well, Intel have now got a new CEO on board, and I think he's actually turning it around. You can actually see in their 11th gen processors that are going to be coming probably in about, what are we in, March, and probably in about the third quarter of 2021. They're going to be doing something. They're going to be pulling something out of the bag, especially with single thread performance, because they are focused on gaming. And I know a lot of people who do want to get into PCs and tech, they are literally for the gaming. For people like myself and people who are more creative in our work, like for me, I do YouTube for you guys, and for people who do like engineering, running certain programs, AMD is a really you know, AMD just wipes the floor with Intel in terms of their multi-core performances and all that, because that's what it's for. It's for those renderings and for people who do like art and engineering, running certain programs, multi-core, multi-thread performances, and multi-thread. Yeah, multi-thread performances just goes like a long way, and multi-core and single core, we see that. Nothing much to see. Oh god, nothing much more to see as soon as we go further down the chart. I'll show you mine. Ryzen 5 3600, which is my one, 73.92, 81.67 in 1080p and 4040p gaming. Zen 2 architecture, running 6 cores, 12 threads, 3.6 up to 4.2. I've got it overclocked to 4.3 now, because I thought, screw it, I might as well push it. And my cooler is a blimmin' like water cooler anyway, so it's like getting that down to an absolute mwah. Anyway, let's just keep going and keep going. Threadrippers, we don't need to know about Threadrippers because no one's on that crazy stuff, you know. Unless you are a Threadripper. If you are running Threadripper, let me know. That'd be sick. Oh, that'd be sick. Love to get in a conversation with you if you are running that. Like I said, there's nothing more to see. It's just showing all of the older processes that these guys benchmarked and giving results to you lot. Yeah, AMD A10-9700. Jesus Christ, that's an old CPU. I'm pretty sure. Well, let me see if. Oh. When did this come out? Yeah, July 2017. It's quite an old CPU. But yeah, I haven't seen much of it. Anyway, guys, it's coming up to 10:02, and to finally finish off, we've got ourselves a gaming piece of news coming on the channel. You know, I haven't done one of these ever, I don't think. So it's good to actually introduce Atomic Heart, which is known to be an indie shooter game that is coming soon. This did get released today, about 5 hours ago, or actually maybe 3 hours ago. Atomic Heart shows off its photo mode, details its main character, lore, and more. And when I saw this game about a week ago, I actually thought, you know, it's a pretty decent game. The graphics is actually amazing. The quality of like fine details in hair and different strands is quite nice, and you do get to see that in their trailer that you got down here, which shows off their photo mode. Kinda, not really. We all know it's a trailer. We all know it's just a hype thing, and it's just a lot different in game. But I guess it is a good way of showing off what their plans are for the game and what it's going to feature. So, talking about this paragraph here, the visually impressive indie shooter Atomic Heart has remained somewhat mysterious since being unveiled back in 2018, but it seems that developer Mundfish is ready to talk. The company has launched a new Atomic Heart website which will eventually detail all the game's characters, weapons, enemies, and more. And obviously it just goes on to talk about more about every single character and what is kind of like putting into the game. You know, I think we've seen this reoccurrence happen before, where it kind of like companies go silent because they are probably working on some different games as well, but they kind of do that, lose their focus and lose their tunnel vision and focus on different games, and they kind of end up like leaving this in the works. And what they do is just kind of they release it like half finished or like 3/4 of the way finished, and just release loads of different updates and all that. And I hate that. I hate that freaking trend. I really do in the gaming industry, and it really puts me off. And I just like, for gamers that are coming in and out and watching this and who understand what I'm talking about, you know, let's just stop. It's just something we just do not need. It's just work on quality, work on dishing out a game with top quality, and then you can provide like updates like once in a blue moon, you know, not like once every like so often and all that. It just puts a massive drain on us as gamers, you know, and it does put a lot of people off. It's true. And obviously I watched this trailer before we started this stream, but I will go back and show it off like different bits. I don't know if the music in it's going to get me copyright strikes, so I will keep it quiet. So turn this up a little bit. Oh, my bad. So we see, you know, got some nice fine details. It even shows every single pore of like the hair of the mustache of the character. That's scary. That's like scary good. And obviously we go into more hair, you know, the nice little nostrils, and you see all the different pores, the individual pores and the sweat pores from this character. It's scary to see that developers and graphics has gone a long way, especially from like early as like 2016, you know. I think like 2016 or even 2014, you know, when Dead Island got released and everyone got excited about the graphics in that. And to now see that and see how it's developed from 2014 to like 2021, it's scary stuff. It's scary stuff. You know, all nice eye detail and nice little like different type shaped noses, and the teeth in the gums, even like the shine on it from like the saliva. It sounds a bit disturbing, but like this detail, this fine detail goes a really long way. Even the little like dimples and details in the lips as well, and like more sweat pores and the eyebrows. It is fascinating. It is fascinating to see. And I'll say as it goes further out, it's just showing more and more about its graphics and more about its photo mode. But guys, like I said before, do take this with a pinch of salt, because the company did go silent since 2018, and now they've just released a new website, so we really don't know what the hell they're planning on doing next. And we hope that it's not one of those companies that kind of dish out a like a 70% hearted game, and it's just kind of like, yeah, we just throw updates and patches and fix shit, you know. I swore again, sorry, I didn't mean to, but I'm you know, it's just how I feel towards companies doing this sort of trend on releasing games. I'm not targeting this game specifically. I highly doubt, I don't know, Atomic Heart seems promising. I'm not crapping on Atomic Heart at all, but I just, you know, the trends that have been set at the moment, especially with Cyberpunk and other previous release titles like what's that blimmin' game with the guys in spacesuits flying by EA. We all know EA is just stupid, and yeah, it's just those kind of games we just don't want to see. Heavy detail in the environment. I love the trees and how how deep the atmosphere goes and how deep the scenery goes back. You even get to see like a little spaceship thing in the background. It's quite cute. Even in the sun and all that. Obviously, I'm not going to play that because I think that has some music in it, and I really don't want to get copyrighted. But yeah, in the mountain, in the sceneries, it does show some fine details of all the trees, the little buildings, and some holes, and it does keep up with it really well. And obviously, it's coming on Atomic Heart. There you go. PS5, Xbox One, or Xbox Series X, and then you got PC as well, and PS4 and last gen consoles, so that's nice to see. But yeah, that's all it really shows, and just shows off its photorealistic stuff, and obviously I just went through that with you lot. But anyway, guys, let's now switch over onto our intermission scene, which we're gonna do right now. So guys, thank you very much for coming in to the stream today. I really had fun, especially on a Monday night. You probably didn't expect me to do a live stream. If for anyone who doesn't follow my socials, if you do want to follow my socials, I will link it. Actually, I won't link it. You can probably go in one of my previous videos and follow that. Instagram, gnome.tech, if you do want to find it right now. Obviously Twitter is GnomeT with 2 zeros, not 2 O's. And obviously you can check me out on Facebook, which is just Kieran Chan. So find that, look at what I'm doing, look at what I post daily, and see the behind the scenes of my YouTube. Yeah, got nothing more to say. Literally, I just wanted to show off some tech news at the moment that's been happening and what's been sparked up in the internet at the moment, especially with Apple and their announcement of their 1 terabyte of cloud storage, which I'm really intrigued yet really concerned because of their previous data leaks in the news and what we've seen, you know, with cloud storage and people getting hacked. It's a very scary situation. But I guess it all kind of circulates back into just being smart on what websites and what places you go to, and just kind of be cautious and just think twice about on certain websites you are going to approach. It's very just kind of like common sense, and just kind of like not be deluded in it and just be like, oh yeah, this looks interesting. Boom, virus, your blaming files get leaked. There's photos of your cat that's gonna get leaked, and you're like, oh no, I don't want that to be leaked. I love my cat so much. So just don't get caught up in that stuff, okay? But yeah, you know, Monday night, late night stream, guys. I hope you lot had fun. I hope you lot find the tech news interesting, because these did literally come out hours ago, not even like days ago. So we are trying to keep up with the times here. We're trying to keep up with the news and get it all good and toasty. But guys, yeah, I think this week what I'm gonna do, I need to get uni work done. I am gonna be posting a Friday night funkin' video on a Friday, you know, trying to like just show off what my skill is getting like, because I am getting better at the game ever so slightly. I did have some peeps coming into the chat guiding me a little bit, and I do thank them for doing that. But yeah, it's interesting to say the least. But yeah, what was I gonna say as well? I'm gonna be releasing that on Friday, and I'm gonna get a video ready for next Wednesday. I believe next Wednesday is the 30th or the 31st, and let me double check that. Yeah, next Wednesday is the 31st, which is actually the day I'm probably going to be leaving to go up to Scotland. So yeah, as you can tell, like, things are a little bit messy over this direction. I'm trying to keep things neat, but I am getting stuff ready for a move. It's just a temporary move. I'm only going up there for like 2 months, 2.5 months, just to finish off uni up there, because you know, we've got some blimmin' like announcements about face-to-face learning and all that stupid stuff, but like uni hasn't even talked about exams, and I've got an exam coming up in June and no one's blimmin' talked about it, and I'm scared. So I'm just going up there just for safekeeping, just to see how the hell it goes on, what's going to happen. Content might slow down a little bit just because I'm going to be studying. I'm studying as we speak as well, and doing uni work and getting assignments done. But you know, it's uni life, and apologize if like the content is coming out a little bit slow, but I am trying to stick to a consistent schedule, and I appreciate every single one of you that does understand what I'm balancing at the moment behind the scenes and what I'm doing. And I love every single one of you for like supporting the channel, showing love, and just, you know, coming in to watch a stream, especially on a Monday night when people are at school, people are at work, and they got other things going on. And I do appreciate people who are coming in and out of chat, coming in, saying hi, coming out, and you know, I love every single one of you for doing that, and it shows support, shows like courage in the community. But yeah, uni work's going to be picking up, you know, going to try and stay at a consistent schedule. Friday is actually going to be a Friday Night Funkin' episode on Friday, so woo-hoo-hoo. You know, it makes sense. It makes sense. It makes freaking sense. You know, let's show off my skill and see how much better I've got since the stream on blimmin' Saturday. My God, that was embarrassing. But anyway, guys, I hope you had fun. I hope you lot enjoy your Monday, and I hope you lot enjoy the start to your week. And I hope you lot good luck to everyone on tackling the rest of the week, especially with like news on pandemics and stuff. And you can even get appreciation for my good luck cat right here, that I'm going to call it Kiko. So Kiko the cat is going to wave you goodbye, give you some good luck, as this is a nice little window for you lot to see through. Love you lot. Take care, stay safe, and I'll see you lot on Friday's episode in a bit.